Let's talk about something you might not expect, how your friendly neighborhood farmers market could actually be a secret weapon for global sustainability. It seems small, but believe me, its potential impact is absolutely massive. You know the scene, right? It's a Saturday morning, you're wandering through the market, people are sampling fresh produce. It just feels like a world away from the high stakes, fast moving corporate world of carbon accounting and ESG frameworks. Environmental, social, and governance goals. But here's the big question. What if this small local scene isn't just a nice weekend activity? What if it actually holds the key to disrupting and solving some of our biggest global challenges? So first, let's bust what we could call the Saturday morning myth. This idea that the farmer's market is just a quaint little outing. We're going to uncover the incredibly powerful system that's hiding in plain sight. At its heart, the concept is really, really simple. The distance our food travels isn't just some minor detail. Proximity is one of the most powerful and most overlooked tools we have for building a sustainable future. So to really get why local food is such a big deal, we need to zoom out and take a hard look at the massive and often invisible footprint of our global food system. And this is where things get really interesting. For years, corporate ESG strategies have been laser-focused on things like renewable energy, cutting waste, and better packaging. All super important stuff. But there's been this giant, glaring blind spot, the food itself. And the numbers? Wow, they're just staggering. The entire system that grows, transports, and gets food onto our plates is responsible for a full 1/3 of all greenhouse gas emissions on the planet. 1/3. And it doesn't stop with emissions. What about water? Well, that same system uses a whopping 70% of all the fresh water withdrawn globally. And get this, half, 50% of all the planet's habitable land we could be using for homes or parks or just leaving for nature, is used for food production. It's an enormous footprint. So, why is the impact so huge? Well, it's driven by this incredibly complex global model. Think about a simple tomato from the supermarket. It might be grown in Mexico, packaged in Texas, distributed from a warehouse in Illinois, and finally sold in New York. It's traveled thousands of kilometers before it ever gets to you. Okay, so if that's the problem, how do local food systems offer a direct solution? Well, it's all about completely rewiring that tangled supply chain. And the difference is just night and day. The industrial system is built for long shelf life and huge scale, which means thousands of food miles and complex logistics. The local system, though, it's all about flavor and nutrition. That means minimal travel, a lot more resilience, and, maybe most importantly, the money stays right there in the community. And that brings us to such a crucial point. This is about more than just the environmental benefits. Buying local directly rebalances the economic power, shifting it away from distant corporations and back to the actual people growing our food. This directly strengthens the social part of ESG, which, let's be honest, often gets overlooked. We're talking about direct, fair income for farmers, stronger communities, and a deeper public understanding, a better food literacy of what it actually takes to get food on our tables. Local markets also change our own behavior. When you can actually talk to a farmer, you start to understand things like seasonality and soil health and biodiversity. They become these amazing informal hubs for climate education. Okay, so we've established it's better for the planet and better for people. But here's the million-dollar question. Can a model that feels so small scale really make a difference on a global level? This is the biggest counterargument you'll always hear, right? The question of scalability. Is this all just a nice idea for a lucky few, or can it actually make a significant dent in our global food needs? Well, the thing is, the issue isn't really about replacing every industrial farm one for one. It's about redesigning the system to be smarter. It's about combining regenerative farming that makes soil healthier with new tech like vertical farms in our cities. It's about building a diverse, resilient, and totally scalable local food network. And hey, this isn't just some pipe dream. Major companies are already starting to get it. They're sourcing from local farms to cut their logistics emissions, they're offering employees farm share plans, and they're even starting to include food procurement in their carbon calculations. And what's so cool about this whole idea is that it brings this enormous kind of abstract concept of global sustainability right back into our day-to-day lives. It makes it something we can actually touch and feel. I mean, let's face it, reading a corporate ESG report isn't exactly thrilling. But the farmer's market, that transforms sustainability from a policy document into a personal experience. It's something you can see, touch, and best of all, actually taste. And this just proves that real change is a two-way street. Our personal behaviors, the small choices we make every single day, that's what ultimately pushes corporations and politicians to act. It all starts from the ground up. So really, the crucial takeaway is this. For many of us, one of the simplest and yet most powerful climate decisions we can make is just to shorten that distance between the farm and our fork. So, the next time you're at a farmer's market, maybe picking out some fresh vegetables, just consider this for a second. You're not just buying food. You might just be participating in the future of ESG, building a more resilient, sustainable world one meal at a time.